In today's class, we're going to talk about web design. And in this web design class, I would like to introduce something, and we are going to see how we are going to build our website from scratch. Today, we have to create some CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. But we shall measure on, first of all, on HTML so that you have a better understanding of HTML section. Now, what is HTML? My name is Professor Barasa Joel, and I'm the one taking you through this unit called DIT 007, which is Introduction to Web Design and Web Development. So, there are key things that we need to know. The lecture will show you how to create the name of the website files and save them in the respective folders, what are called the directories. Let's get started. So in this class, we are going to start a new project. So I would like you to go inside your exam section, go to htdocs. Inside here, I would like you to create a folder and name it login. Because mine is there, I'll use login too, but you have to use login. Then inside this folder, we have to create CSS, image.js folders. So inside login, I want you to create CSS folder. You can click either home here, and then you click up here, then you have CSS. That's one folder. I want you to create another folder, name it JS for JavaScript, and another folder for images, for you to put all the images that you want to use in your website. Now, because the tab is called login, I would like you to change the name to www.query.login.edu. You can rename the page to that, query.login.edu, www.query.login.edu. Then after that, I would like you to create those files inside the way we have done this. Then I want us to open our tab. Use either Notepad++, Sublime Text, or VS Code. If I use Sublime Text, then what it means is that I'm going to create a new file and then save it as. Then I'll browse my location, local disk C. I go for exam folder, get inside htdocs and get inside your file. Here I want you to label or name the file as login.html. Login.html. Name it as that one, then save it there. I want you to create another new folder, and this folder I want you to name it as, or to save it as, link.html, and you put it there. Now after that, I would like you to write for me these codes inside each folder. For example, in that we are starting with the HTML tags and the header files. The header is called event handler for users, and then here I've linked the CSS. This CSS is in which folder? Is in the folder called CSS. and the name of the file is styles2.css. How do we find that? Under the folder that we had said that you create here called CSS, there is another file that I want you to create and name it. So don't worry. I would like to do this very fast because of my time for the video, but you are going to do it by yourself. Have the JavaScript and this other one also. So today we are not going to look at the JavaScript. Just want some small CSS and yeah, just some small CSS, and that CSS is so I want you to create another file here and save as. Get inside the folder CSS here and name it as style.css. Then I want you to create another file and name as style2.css. Good. Now these files are the ones that I need them to be made. After creating such files, let me try to see what this one will give me. You can see this one, yes. So I'm not going to look at that. So that one today, no, because which is the file linked to that? It must be styles. Now I want some files called JavaScripts and so on. This JavaScript I don't want. I just need this file, this content here, to be coded under style2, inside style2 for today. So here we are adding a style CSS that is going to wrap or to tell. Wrap is like the entire body of your website. You can see here when you are creating the website, you have to use what are called the div, and therefore inside this div wrap, you can see this is the wrap, and that div ID ends here, meaning that all these others are inside wrap. Then we have the div container and div body, div container and div class main. If you can see very well, they end somewhere. This div for main comes and ends here. If I take it this way, this div and this div main, they all come and end there. So this div, this one, is the one that ends with the div wrap, such that all these others are inside the wrap container. So if we change the color here from aqua, let's test the app to see how it looks like. I'm just doing this because of time. I want to save time on my development time. So if I call this, you can see how it looks like, meaning that there is a color here, aqua. What if we come to this code here and change from aqua to yellow? What will happen? So I'm going to save it. So right now, if we refresh this tab, let me check for this second style. Okay. Like this goes to be done. That's the R. So inside those folders, I would like this code to be written under link, and this code to be written under style 2, this code to be written inside style CSS, and this one to be written inside the login file that you have created within your website called, let me see here, we are inside here, this is your website. So I would like to open this with this one. You can see that, you can see this color changing from what we had changed here, from aqua to yellow. Right now, if we change it to aqua like that, and we come back here and refresh the tab, you see the color changing. If you come here and change the color here to red and save it, then and we refresh the tab here, you can see it changes to red. So that is what I want you to build in this lecture. So ensure that everything is done perfectly according to the codes that I'm sharing, and everything is done well. So I would like to end this and send to you this document in Word documents, and therefore ensure that you do that work. So have a nice time.